Hi, and welcome to today's class, Eating Healthy on a Budget. My name is Stu, nutritionist on the Healthy Living team at Giant. We're always looking for ways to save money and get more bang for our bucks. So today's class is going to discuss how we can better spend our dollars to eat nutritiously. And although we are focusing on eating healthy on a budget today, our team is here to support you in whatever your health goals may be: managing diabetes, maintaining heart health, meal planning, or maybe just ways to try something new. We offer a wide variety of services that you can access on giantfood.com/healthyliving. This session will be about 30 minutes and includes supporting materials and reference materials like recipe ideas and additional resources. I'll go over those at the end. So let's get started. Let's start with addressing the elephant in the room. Why is food so expensive? Let's start with what's out of our control. Food is expensive because the cost to produce and deliver it has gone up. Farmers and manufacturers are paying more for labor, fuel, packaging, and transportation, and supply chain disruptions have made it harder to get ingredients and products where they need to go, all of which drive up prices for shoppers. That being said, there are many things that we can control, like how we shop, eat, and even store our food to prevent food waste. So today we are going to lean into all the ways we can stretch our dollars and hopefully eat a little bit healthier. I know what you're thinking. Eating healthy is expensive. And sure, there are expensive healthy items in store, but there are far more inexpensive healthy items. The difference lies in that convenience factor. Are you choosing ingredients based on your meal plan, or are you grabbing ready to eat meals and snacks? While both are great options, if saving money is your goal, lean towards those ingredients. If you want to save time, lean into convenience. Me, I do both. I'll share later how to buy convenient foods that are healthy, but we are focusing on saving money. So that means ingredients and meal planning. And that means understanding my plate. My plate is the foundation of balanced meals. We see balance as a plant forward plate filled with fruits and vegetables for antioxidants, vitamins and minerals, high fiber grains and starches for fiber and energy, and lean proteins to help heal and repair our bodies. As we move forward, we'll use my plate as a guide. So let's get started. Saving money means starting at home with what you already have. We all have pantries filled with ingredients, but are they the right ingredients to build a meal, or are they random ingredients? Whichever side you fall on, here's our first tip. Take inventory. What do you already have on hand? Start a list based on my plate: protein, those grains and starches, fruits, vegetables, and add other categories important to your family, like snacks, treats, or maybe a particular meal like breakfast. Next, check your refrigerator. Are there items near expiration? Maybe bell peppers from last week that you didn't get to. And then the freezer. Check especially for those proteins and vegetables that you can potentially build a meal around. What about that chicken breast that you bought in batch when it was on sale? Or those bagged vegetables or french fries? And of course, our pantry: canned goods, grains, starches. Do you have half bags of whole wheat pastas that you can use this week? Once you have your list, it's time to move on to your next money saving tip: meal planning. Meal planning is essential to staying on budget. And guess what? Taking inventory is step one of meal planning. We have a whole class on meal planning, so watch that video for a step-by-step process that includes meal suggestions if you want to learn more. And I'll show you at the end how to access that. But for now, here's a quick overview on how to meal plan to save money. Start with that inventory list we just made and grab your weekly schedule. I got a great tear-off sheet online that lets me meal plan and create a shopping list. But you don't have to be fancy. I've also used the back of an envelope, but having a pretty sheet does give you a weekly plan on the fridge so that everyone stops asking what's for dinner. Okay, now map out your week. What days of the week do you need something quick because of a late day at work or maybe the kids' soccer game? Are there any special days that you need to keep in mind? Like, is it your turn to bring in cupcakes for school? Note those on the schedule. Next, look at your inventory list and consider these questions. What can you make with what you have on hand? If you have chicken and peppers, maybe you have chicken fajitas or quesadillas. Just add what you're missing to make the meal to your shopping list. If you aren't sure what meal you can create, start with your protein. If you have pork chops, what can you create around that using My Plate? All you need is a vegetable and a grain. What's on your inventory list in those categories? Anything you're missing? Add to that shopping list. Some weeks I have great items in my inventory to build a meal, and some weeks I don't. That's when I turn to the weekly sales flyer for inspiration. What's on sale? For me, I always start off with that protein and I add produce and grains based on those inventory or sales. Meal planning can feel hard at first, but our meal planning class has lots of tips and tricks on how to make it easy, delicious, and nutritious, which is especially helpful if you get tired of eating the same things every week. We talked about the sales flyer, which you can see online, but you can also check it out on the app, which I highly recommend since it also gives you the opportunity to clip coupons to add to your flexible rewards account. If you don't have the app, you really are missing out on some real savings. Just using your phone number at the register can get you money off of gas, but using the app unlocks even more savings and rewards. So maybe you can save on gas and groceries. If you don't want another app, no worries. You can also do this at giantfood.com. But whichever you choose, get digitally engaged so that you can save more and earn more points towards free gas and groceries. If you planned your weekly meals, odds are you've started your shopping list. Having a firm list will help you stay on track with your spending and stop you from impulse purchases. You know, things like that lemon curd, which you have no reason to buy other than that looks good, I'll figure out how to use it later. And then guess what? You don't. These are those weird ingredients that I was referring to earlier. If you shop with a purpose and keep to your list, you will save time and money. But a list is more than just what you need to round out your meal plans for the week. The good news is that if you took inventory and meal planned, your grocery list is 95% done. First, review your meal plan and add any other miscellaneous items: spices, condiments, veggies. Don't forget to add those cupcakes ingredients if that's on your plan. Next, look what's missing on your inventory, like your staples: milk, butter, eggs. Add those to the item list too. You can also add any items that you might want to stock up on based on sales. Finally, take that list, go grab your reusable bags. That does save you 5 cents a bag in most counties, and put those reusable bags and your list near the door so that you don't forget them. And if you plan to shop before eating, maybe add a snack to that pile to help those impulsive snacking buys when you hit the store. There are many ways to save while shopping too. My best piece of advice: opt for store brands. Store brands offer the same quality but for a better price, so whenever you can, choose store brands. At Giant, you can look out for these compare and save tags on the shelf to see how much you can save by purchasing the store brand. And don't forget, store brands may look like our Giant logo, but it also includes brands like Nature's Promise, Taste of Inspirations, Companion, Ethos, Always My Baby, Care One, and Smart Living. Okay, let's save even more money on store brands with our app. By clipping the 2 times rewards digital coupon on the app or online, you can earn more points faster, which means more dollars off at the pump or at the register. And that's just the start. We also offer multipliers for guiding stars better for you products. Head online to learn more or scan that QR code to sign up. Once you download the app, head to the Savings tab at the bottom and clip your special offers and multipliers. Now, one of the easiest ways to save is to opt for canned or frozen items. These items are just as nutritious, but are a lot more shelf stable, which means they won't go bad before you use them. If you prefer fresh, that's great too. Just be sure you have a plan so that it doesn't go bad before you have a chance to use it. We always say the most expensive food is the food you throw away. When it comes to fresh, look for in season and local produce to save money. When fruits and veggies are grown in season, they're grown in abundance and our farmers can sell them at a cheaper price. And nutritionally speaking, they'll contain more vitamins and minerals when bought in season and locally because they don't have to travel far from farm to store to table. Frozen produce items are a great way to ensure you always have a fruit or veggie on hand. They can also be more budget friendly options, especially when the fruit or veggie isn't in season. Keep frozen berries on hand for smoothies or oatmeal, and frozen broccoli on hand to quickly roast to add to a simple dinner. And of course, canned. Canned fruits and vegetables are extremely budget friendly and can last in your pantry for quite a while. Of course, try to find low sodium or no salt added versions of your canned vegetables and canned fruit that's in its own fruit juice. And don't forget, fresh, frozen, and canned applies to seafood too. And at Giant, our seafood is sustainably sourced. If it fits your budget, consider value packs. Buying veggies or proteins in bulk can save money in the long run. If you're buying in bulk or because of a BOGO sale, identify ways to store the second item. You can mash and freeze potatoes, and bread goods also freeze well. English muffins are frequently BOGO. That being said, if you are looking to save right now, only buy what you need. Onions, potatoes, other veggies are sold loose or by the bag. This can also help cut down food waste. And when you can, stock up on staples when they're on sale. 10 for 10 sales are great to stock up on canned goods and pastas, items that you know you'll always use. A few more quick yet big money saving tips while in store. Avoid pre-packaged or pre-cut items. You pay for convenience, so if you have the time, cut your own vegetables, shred your own cheese, make your own treats, and these could be good activities for kids to learn these skills. Next, use a scanner to stay on budget. If you have a target budget, the scanner will give you a real-time balance so you don't go over. If your Giant doesn't have the scanners available on the carousel, use your phone. Once you download the app, you can use your phone to scan items as you shop. It works just like the handheld scanner and gives you your balance as you shop. Next, bring your own reusable bag to avoid the bag tax. Keep your bags near the door or in your car so you don't forget to bring them. Also, don't forget to grab your Catalina offers, those coupons that print out at the register for your next trip. And check your credit cards to see if you can earn cash back or other rewards when grocery shopping. It could be rebates or maybe double points for grocery and restaurant purchases. Earn those savings for your next trip. We talked about My Plate and Balance, but there is an easy shortcut to help pick healthier options, and that's Guiding Stars. Guiding Stars is our nutrition guidance program that reads the nutrition facts labels and evaluates recipes so you don't have to. Products and recipes receive stars based on credits for things we want, like fiber, vitamins, and minerals, and debits for the things that may promote disease, like saturated fat, sodium, and added sugars. Guiding stars are found on the price tag in store, on product descriptions when you shop online, and recipes in our Savory magazine. The program is also available as an app that you can use to scan products if you don't see a tag. You can find Guiding Star products in every category of the grocery store to find the most nutrient-dense options. Now, you may be thinking that all the money-saving opportunities have been made at home and while shopping, but there are also ways to save money at home after you've come home with your groceries. Storing your food properly can help extend their shelf life, which saves you money because the most expensive food we buy, again, is the food we throw away. The best way to store your food is to store it the way you found it at the grocery store. So plan your storage accordingly. Store these fruits and vegetables at room temperature until you cut or cook them. Fruits include bananas, pineapples, and melons, and veggies like tomatoes, winter squash, or corn. Onions and potatoes should be stored out of light and in the pantry. Garlic and onions will start to sprout if they're left under harsh light, and they'll get mushy if they're kept in the fridge. Potatoes can turn green if they're in harsh light, and their starches will turn into sugars if they're refrigerated. Speaking of the refrigerator, your refrigerator should be set somewhere between 35 to 38 degrees Fahrenheit to keep your food at the correct temperature. Now, let's talk about those crisper drawers. Often, refrigerators have crisper drawers that allow you to adjust the humidity. That's that moisture component. The humidity setting refers to the amount of space in the drawers that are left open to allow airflow. Low humidity drawers can introduce some airflow into the drawer, and high humidity drawers are closed off completely without any airflow. If you don't have any controls on your drawers, it's still a crisper drawer. It's just by default a high humidity crisper. Most of the humidity inside a crisper is supplied by the produce itself. A good tip is to remember this rule of thumb: rot low, wilt high. Fruits that are prone to rot belong in the low humidity drawer, while produce that's prone to wilting needs to be enclosed completely in the high humidity drawer. And don't cram too much in there. You want your produce to breathe. Other storage tips to help extend the life of your food is don't wash produce until you're ready to eat it. You can also cut your carrots and celery for easy snacking and store these in jars of water to help keep them crisp. If you haven't cut your celery yet, you can wrap it in aluminum foil to help keep it stay crisp. Fresh herbs can be stored in the fridge in a jar of water with the plastic bag over top to keep it fresh and prevent wilting. A little prep work can really help you to save some money. Another way to save money at home is to reduce on food waste. The root to tip or nose to tail movement is all about utilizing as much of a food as possible. You always hear about saving food scraps to make stocks. Save those rotisserie chicken bones and veggie scraps to make a delicious homemade broth. Save broccoli or cauliflower stalks to make broccoli rice or cauliflower rice. Maybe you can roast those stalks or add them to salads for a nice crunch. The fronds on carrots and fennel add color and flavor to dishes, and beet tops can be sauteed. And consider keeping the peel on your favorite veggies. Not only does it save time, it also adds more fiber to your diet. You can also save and roast or air fry the peels of potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and carrots for a crunchy snack. So before you throw food scraps away, see if there is another way you can use them. Now, let's talk about leftovers. Can your leftovers be planned for another dinner? Maybe it's lunch for the next day, or even breakfast. For me, I often find I don't get around to eating my leftovers, and it makes me so sad when I have to toss them out. So on day 2, I freeze it for a quick meal for another day. Using freezer bags or containers is a great way to store leftovers in the freezer to reheat and eat. Don't forget to label those leftovers with the date and reheating instructions. Or you can always repurpose leftovers into a whole different meal. Our Savory magazine has some great cook once, eat twice recipes to use ingredients in multiple ways. Remember how we said the most expensive food is the one we throw away? Consumers toss about 90 billion pounds of food, in large part because of expiration dates, and studies estimate that 68% of what we throw away is still edible. So let's discuss what those dates actually means. When it comes to label dates, there are no standard FDA guidelines to the terminology. With the exception of baby formula, which can start to lose its nutritional value and change consistency, every other item on the shelf and in store is based on quality or taste, not safety. Best if used by or best if used before guarantees when a product is of the best quality or flavor. So, for example, a jar of salsa may not taste as fresh or crackers may be soft instead of crisp after this date. It's not about safety. The sell-by is for the store. It tells them when to remove from shelves or to put on manager special for markdown. And use by is the last date that guarantees the best quality of a product. Again, not a safety date. So this is when I encourage you to look at product dates as a suggestion. Just because the date has passed doesn't mean you need to automatically throw it out. My advice, use the sniff test and toss it if it looks or smells off. This concludes our Eating Healthy on a Budget webinar. Thank you for trusting the Giant Food Healthy Living team in your journey to better health. Although our time is over today, I invite you to check out our other recorded classes, which cover a wide range of topics, including heart health, brain health, healthy eating, and so much more. Today's video is your first step. Your next step is to utilize the resources provided in the notes below, where you'll find more resources on eating healthy on a budget, including recipe links and other information which will support everything you've learned today. There's even an option to email us with questions, schedule a store tour, or follow up on social media for daily tips and inspiration on a wide variety of healthy living topics. I invite you to stay connected. We offer a wide variety of free services, including store tours, webinars, cook-alongs, and more, all of which you can access on giantfood.com/healthyliving or in the notes section of this video. We've taken the philosophy that healthy is for everyone. It's the little things that we do every day that add up. So start today, start small or big, just start. Thanks again. Reach out with any questions, and most of all, stay well.